Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with Cowboy fan with the bag over his head. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here as we are on another game day. It is, wow. After today, there's only three more football Sundays for the regular season. That's it. Our Cowboys, of course, have an added rest that they definitely need, um, getting ready to play against the Rams the following Sunday. Um, Game in which our buddy Texas Sports Roundup will actually be at the Rams game. So thank you everybody who's been part of that, who's made donations and stuff. He's going to have a dream trip. Hopefully the Cowboys can find a way to get a victory. What I'm hoping is that our players take a look at other teams. You know, you got New Orleans against the 49ers and a big game there. You know, you've got all of these teams that are out there playing with energy, with excitement, that are just blowing people away, that are digging deep and getting results. That they take a look at those guys and look inside themselves and dig deeper. Now, it seems and it appears that only a miracle, or should I say a nightmare, would save Jason Garrett's job. That the Cowboys supposedly have been talking to Urban Meyer, and they're interested in Lincoln Riley. And I'm wondering, because if we are to believe that nothing else is going to change other than Jason Garrett, the structure in the Cowboys is looking like it will stay the same. Jerry Jones will still be the GM and the final say. Stephen Jones will be the guy who handles the contract and the monies and is a major influence on what the team does. Will McClay, who puts up the draft board, which I'm gotta say the last 2 years we haven't gotten the impact players that we've needed. You know, 2016 was a banner year. But you look at some of the picks, we're still kind of, we're back to like everybody else. Hopefully we'll get some more of that draft magic back this year. Um, and of course, then you have your coach. I'm not sure if a college coach is necessarily the cure-all. That's one of those hit or misses. You know, you could get a Jimmy Johnson or you could get a Chip Kelly. The thing with a college coach is a college coach has full autonomy of the team. And generally speaking, if you are a named university, if you're an Oklahoma or if you're a Texas or an LSU, the players want to play for you. You get the cream of the crop. Sometimes it's not necessarily the X's and O's that will win you those games in college. It's just the fact that you got better people than everybody else. You don't have to be a genius. You can out-muscle because your offensive lineman may be 20, 30 pounds heavier. Your running back may run, a couple of tenths of a second faster than the other guys. You're getting the cream of the crop. So it's not necessarily that you are coaching above and beyond everybody else. It may be that you just have better talent. And make no mistake about it, the Dallas Cowboy job is not like any other job in the NFL. You are under the microscope for everything. Everything. Everything is glitz and glamour. And now you've got the owner GM who has his own radio show to answer to. And if this is going to be the power structure for the next guy, I'm not sure that a college coach coming in is going to be the best suited. You're going to have to work with Jerry, point blank. Jason Garrett, to some defense to him, again, is a guy who doesn't have complete autonomy on the players that they get. He does not have sometimes the authority to make all of the calls, because when he says we're going to evaluate kickers and the owner says no, we're not, it makes it a little harder to coach. And that undermines the situation for the players and the coach dynamic. Because the players sitting there thinking, well, okay, I know Jerry's the one that's really making the call. And that's the one consistent thing we have to look at. Jerry Jones came in. He got rid of the only coach that I knew in Tom Landry. And Tom Landry's time had passed him by. Tom Landry, who was an innovator, a guy who came up with new wrinkles. You know, the shotgun. Finding players that weren't football players like Bob Bullet Hayes. The flex defense. Being the offense and defensive coordinator and controlling everything. Well, his time passed him by. And it was time for a change for the Dallas Cowboys. It might have been time a few years before that. It wasn't pretty the way Jerry did it, but Jimmy Johnson came in with a new attitude and coached his ass off. And they got better talent because of the Herschel Walker trade. Those were all the dynamics of what put together that 90s team. It was the perfect storm. A young team that had hit rock bottom. It was a new coach that nobody knew what to expect. It was the influence, the influctuation, or the infuse, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, of a lot of talent on the team and a bit of luck in the draft that became the perfect storm for that team. But since that time, it's been Jerry Jones, the GM, who has put in puppet coaches and undermined them, with the exception of Bill Parcells. So Jerry, you know, we went through this experience with Jason Garrett for 10 years. Time is getting short. You've turned over a roster. You've got a young stud quarterback. You have a running back who, you know, running backs, 4 years is usually the peak. After that, they start going downhill. Zeke may be special, but you got to look at 2 or 3 years at most of playing at that elite level. There's very few Frank Gores. You've got receivers. Your offensive line is getting old. This choice may be the most critical choice that you make in the time that you've owned the Dallas Cowboys. If it is for us to get back to the Super Bowl before time runs out. I'm not sure that I'm ready for a college coach to come in here. I think I would rather see a defensive-minded coach who has the experience of game days to actually lead this team. I honestly believe that a Ron Rivera might be a better answer. It's just me. A guy who always has defenses, always, who can turn that defense around. Your offense, as much maligned as it is, you're not going to get much more production out of your offense. I'm okay with Kellen Moore calling the plays. This year, it's first year on the job. Second year, he should get better. I like what they've done with Dak Prescott's mechanics and having him step up to another level. We've seen flashes of really good things. It just hasn't been consistent. And I think given more time with Kellen Moore, that we'll be in better shape than we are right now. Nobody goes in day one looking fantastic. It's experience that helps. And in lies why I don't necessarily think that a college coach is the best answer. But hey, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll with a bag over his head. So take it for what it's worth. We'll be keeping an eye on the games today because some of those kind of have a bearing on the Cowboys if we are to make the playoffs. And, of course, tomorrow we have the Eli Manning return of the Man Show against the Philadelphia Eagles. God. So we'll be trolling Philly, of course, during the game and doing our regular live stream. As always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you soon.